Hello. Welcome back. We are on episode 3. Wow. Crazy. So what is it? Chapters. We've covered chapters 1 to 3, 4 to 6. We are doing 7 to 9 of the book of Genesis. Just a quick mental note to yourself. What I thought was quite cool is I am going to look back at this video in years to come and see what my reactions were compared to what they will be in like 10 years. So I thought it'd be a good idea for you guys as well to, when you're watching it, note down the questions you have. And it's like, if you're still doing it, then you can come back as well in 10 years time and look at that video and think, oh, this is what I was saying there. Because I've noticed how I am today to how I was 10 years before that. I'm completely different. So I'm presuming that I could be different in 10 years time as well. So it'd be quite cool to look back on. That's all I was going to say, people. All right. Other than that, let's just get into it. Chapter 7 to 9, Book of Genesis. Let's
7. The Lord told Noah,
"Take your whole family with you into the boat, because you are the only one on this earth who pleases me. Take 7 pairs of every kind of animal that can be used for sacrifice, and 1 pair."
I never knew that. Like, I never knew that. Don't get me wrong. I've not done a lot of research, but I always thought it was just like the song. It was one of each, 2 by 2, hurrah, hurrah, you know. But it wasn't. It was 7 pairs, and it was for sacrifice. Like sacrifice. Yeah, I don't know. The old sacrifice stuff, you know, it's sort of very ritualistic, like to me. You know what I mean? Like, and I know it's the Old Testament and stuff, but 7 pairs of animals just to go along to be sacrificed is sort of quite, I suppose, barbaric would be the word. You know, like poor animals. You know?
Pair of all others. Also, take 7 pairs of every kind of bird with you. Do this so there will always be animals and birds on the earth. 7 days from now I will send rain that will last for 40 days and nights, and I will destroy all other living creatures I have made.
Noah was 600 years old when he went into the boat to escape the flood, and he did everything the Lord had told him to do. His wife, his sons, and his daughters-in-law all went inside with him. He obeyed God and took a male and a female of each kind of animal and bird into the boat with him. 7 days later, a flood began to cover the earth. Noah was 600 years old when the water under the earth started gushing out everywhere. The sky opened like windows and rain poured down for 40 days and nights. All this began on the 17th day of the 2nd month of the year. On that day, Noah and his wife went into the boat with their 3 sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, and their wives. They took along every kind of animal, tame and wild, including the birds. Noah took a male and a female of every living creature with him, just as God had told him to do. And when they were all in the boat, God closed the door. For 40 days, the rain poured down without stopping, and the water became deeper and deeper until the boat started floating high above the ground. Finally, the mighty flood was so deep that even the highest mountain peaks were almost 25 feet below the surface of the water. Not a bird, animal, reptile, or human was left alive anywhere on earth. The Lord destroyed everything that breathed. Nothing was left alive except Noah and the others in the boat. 150 days later, the water started going down. Genesis 8.
But gets me as well is they say the water comes up from the ground, you know, like, and now we see studies that there's oceans below, water below the ocean, which is far bigger than the ocean, or so, you know. I don't know, I don't really get it, but that bit gets me. Another question that popped into my head last night, and I've just been waiting for the right time to put it out there, but now I'm going to put it out there now, which is basically, we're at the boat right now where Noah, his wife, 3 sons, and the wives of the 3 sons are there. They come off the boat and they are the only people in civilization. So the bit that comes to me, and this is purely because I've not read any other books. I genuinely haven't yet, but I will get there. And I've heard little bits and bobs from other people about stuff like this. But my question is, if these are the only people, like, how have we got different types of humans? Different colors, different races, all of this stuff, but from all have come from like one set of families. You know what I mean? Like, obviously you've got different colors. You've got your white and black people. You've got different types of people, like Hawaiian, Chinese, Indian, lots of other of different. But if they've all come from Noah, his wife, and 3 sons, then how has that happened? Do you know what I mean? Like, for instance, two English white people are not going to sort of have a baby which is going to come out and be Chinese. So I'm trying to touch on a subject which is touchy for people, but at the same time, it's my question, so I've got to say it. It was something that come in my head yesterday. I don't know where it come from, but I was just like, how does that happen? You know what I mean? But let's carry on.
God did not forget about Noah and the animals with him in the boat. So God made a wind blow, and the water started going down. God stopped up the places where the water had been gushing out from under the earth. He also closed up the sky, and the rain stopped. For 150 days, the water slowly went down. Then, on the 17th day of the 7th month of the year, the boat came to rest somewhere in the Ararat Mountains. The water kept going down, and the mountaintops could be seen on the first day.
Yeah, we got a location where the boat was. Check it out. It seems to be this day and age as well that I see whenever there's floods, waters, there's not enough water coming from the rains. It seems that there is water coming from the earth as well for me. So it's funny how I see it in the Bible like this as well.
Day of the 10th month. 40 days later, Noah opened a window to send out a raven, but it kept flying around until the water had dried up. Noah wanted to find out if the water had gone down, and he sent out a dove. Deep water was still everywhere, and the dove could not find a place to land. So it flew back to the boat. Noah held out his hand and helped it back in. 7 days later, Noah sent the dove out again. It returned in the evening, holding in its beak a green leaf from an olive tree. Noah knew that the water was finally going down. He waited 7 more days before sending the dove out again, and this time it did not return. Noah was now 601 years old, and by the first day of that year, almost all the water had gone away. Noah made an opening in the roof of the boat and saw that the ground was getting dry. By the 27th day of the 2nd month, the earth was completely dry. God said to Noah,
You, your wife, your sons, and your daughters-in-law may now leave the boat. Let out the birds, animals, and reptiles, so they can mate and live all over the earth.
After Noah and his family had gone out of the boat, the living creatures left in groups of their own kind. Noah built an altar where he could offer sacrifices to the Lord. Then he offered on the altar one of each kind of animal and bird that could be used for a sacrifice.
The sacrifices is something real. I'm really struggling to get my head around as well. This is like, I just don't get it. I just don't get sacrifices. Like, it just doesn't sit well, with me. I see that as almost like whenever we're talking about sort of demonic stuff going through, creepy TikToks and when Christian reality on my other channel, and we're seeing the ritual sacrifice rituals. That's where I see that. So when I'm reading it in this, like, it just doesn't sit well with me. It don't sit well with me. I don't get it.
The smell of the burning offering pleased God, and he said,
Never again will I punish the earth for the sinful things its people do. All of them have evil thoughts from the time they are young, but I will never destroy everything that breathes, as I did this time. As long as the earth remains, there will be planting and harvest, cold and heat, winter and summer, day and night.
Genesis 9. God said to Noah and his sons,
I am giving you my blessing. Have a lot of children and grandchildren, so people will live everywhere on this earth. All animals, birds, reptiles, and fish will be afraid of you. I have placed them under your control, and I have given them to you for food. From now on, you may eat them as well as the green plants that you have always eaten. But life is in the blood, and you must not eat any meat that still has blood in it. I created humans to be like me, and I will punish any animal or person that takes a human life.
Oh, that's interesting. He referred to himself as me and not us. Blood. Life is in the blood, and you must not eat any meat that still has blood in it. Interesting.
If an animal kills someone, that animal must die. And if a person takes the life of another, that person must be put to death. I want you and your descendants to have many children, so people will live everywhere on earth.
Again God said to Noah and his sons,
I am going to make a solemn promise to you and to everyone who will live after you. This includes the birds and the animals that came out of the boat. I promise every living creature that the earth and those living on it will never again be destroyed by a flood. The rainbow that I have put in the sky will be my sign to you and to every living creature on earth. It will remind you that I will keep this promise forever. When I send clouds over the earth and a rainbow appears in the sky, I will remember my promise to you and to all other living creatures. Never again will I let floodwaters destroy all life. When I see the rainbow in the sky, I will always remember the promise that I have made to every living creature. The rainbow will be the sign of that solemn promise.
Noah and his sons, Shem, Ham, and Japheth, came out of the boat. Ham later had a son named Canaan. All people on earth are descendants of Noah's 3 sons. Noah farmed the land and was the first to plant a vineyard. One day he got drunk and was lying naked in his...
Yeah, so all people on earth are descendants of them or something. It just said, like, that's basically what I'm saying. If that's the case, then how do we have so much variety of people? You know, like, yeah, I don't know.
tent. Ham entered the tent and saw him naked, then went back outside and told his brothers. Shem and Japheth put a robe over their shoulders and walked backward into the tent. Without looking at their father, they placed it over his body. When Noah woke up and learned what his youngest son...
It cracks me up. We've got Noah like tearing up the alcohol, getting drunk, passing out naked, and then his sons found him like... Yeah, I do find that quite funny.
Ham had done, he said,
There is a bit of humour in the Bible.
I now put a curse on Canaan. He will be the lowest slave of his brothers. I ask the Lord my God to bless Shem and make Canaan his slave.
Well, that's a bit harsh. I mean, don't get drunk and pass out naked, and you won't have that. You won't have that problem, will you? You know what I mean? Put some pants on, Noah. But yeah, he is now cursed, not his son, but his grandson, to be a slave for his family member. However, I have looked at... No, I better not.
Pray
I'm only reacting to what we see here as we go on. Yeah.
that the Lord will give Japheth more and more land, and let him take over the territory of Shem. May Canaan be his slave.
Noah lived 350 years after the flood and died at the age of 950.
Well, yeah. Okay, cool. What do we think then, people? That has gone quick. Very quick. Oh, that's 9 chapters down already, people. Weren't that painful, was it? I don't think so. It's quite enjoyable, and I'm really going over something I've already read as well. And I'm still, enjoying it because I don't really pick up on stuff, so I'm re-picking stuff up. And do you know what? I watched the first one again the other day because you can't watch it too many times. So I don't want to sound big-headed, but I like how I've broken it down into 20-minute segments because I can re-go over stuff, and if I need to question things, I can just re-watch it. So yeah. Cool. Right, peeps, I'm off. But yeah, like, subscribe, turn on notifications, all that jazz, and I'll see you again tomorrow because I'll be doing another one again tomorrow.